Here's the harsh truth about the email marketing. Majority of the businesses loses their clients not because their first email wasn't good, but because they failed to follow up. Study shows that majority of the deals are cracked actually after sending the third or second follow-up emails. Yet many people never send the emails. That's totally like leaving money on the table. In this video, I will show you an automation that not only writes, send the cold emails, but also do the follow-up automatically, so you never miss a client or an opportunity again. So let me just give you a quick preview how the automation is actually working. So if you just click on the execution button, here you can see the trigger is started, schedule trigger is started, and now it is evaluating the first initial emails, and then here you can see the automation is started, and it's going towards the next step, and then now it's going towards the website summarizer to actually summarize the business profile, and now it is crafting the email. And then here you can see it is choosing the randomly subjects, store the details in the Google Sheet, retrieve the details, formatting it, and yes, boom, just sending the emails and updating the status on the Google Sheet, wait for a specific time to go for the next step. And just for this preview, I have exclude the wait timers over on the first and second follow-up, just to give you a preview. So you can see the next follow-up is also started, and the email has been crafted and stored, and now the second follow-up is also sent it, and it is updated on the sheet. As the next step, here you can see the second follow-up workflow is started now. So yeah, now it started. So here you can see it fetches out the leads, start with the loop, it's crafting a follow-up email on the behalf of the first follow-up email, and then store the details in the Google Sheet, retrieve the details from the Google Sheet, formatting it, and boom, sending it all on its own. Done. So let me just go to the Gmail and see if we got the emails or not. Here you go. Here you can see all three emails is being received from us. This was the first initial email, and then this first follow-up, and then the second follow-up. So this is just this easy. So this is how the whole workflow looks like, and don't worry, I will be guiding you step by step how the whole workflow automation is working. So let's just move towards the first step. So here you can see again there's a schedule trigger. Basically what is schedule trigger do? It runs the whole workflow, and we can schedule its time when we wanted to run the workflow in minutes, hours, days, or weeks, or so on, according to our needs. Basically, think of the schedule trigger as an alarm clock. We can set the alarm on every minute or hours according to our needs and requirement. And then in the next step, you can see there's a Google Sheet attached, and it is named as Get Lead. So what is the function of it? It basically fetches the leads from the provided Google Sheet and then share the leads to the next step or the workflow automation. This sheet must have these columns, such like company name, email, website, category, status, email body, and email subject, and message ID. And don't worry, if we go towards the next step, here you can see, and in the next step, here you can see we have attached a loop node. So basically, to prevent the overload, we split the leads into batches. This makes the workflow to run one lead at a time, which is safer for the AI model and also to prevent any type of error. And in the next step, here you can see we have attached a HTTP request node. It basically fetches out the website or client's URL that is provided by in the Google Sheet or provided by us. And in the next step, here you can see we have attached a markdown node. So basically, what does markdown do? Basically, whatever the details that are being expected by the HTTP request node, it comes in the form of HTML, and it might be possible for the AI agent not recognize the HTML language properly. So this node is just for to prevent any type of error. So it basically converts the raw HTML into a plain text so that the website summarizer can easily understand it and make a summary out of it. And in the next step, here you can see we are using a AI agent, and it is defined as a website summarizer, and to run this agent we are using Google Gemini chat model. So basically, what is the function of it? Basically, we have commanded this AI agent to summarize the website and give a short brief about the business. to help us draft a personalized email. So here you can see we have described the AI agent about the details what you have to do. I'm not gonna read the whole details. You can read it and move further. And then in the next step here you can see we have attached an email crafter node. So basically here again we are using a AI chat model, and to run this model we are using the Google Gemini. So basically in this website crafter node we have given the prompts so that the AI model can understand what type of email we want and how the email should be drafted. We can actually demand or command the AI agent how we wanted the email to be drafted. So here you can see I have added all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 details, key points how I wanted to draft the email. So it will catch that commands and draft a personalized email upon my commands. And in the next step here you can see I have attached a code node. So basically why we need a code node? Basically what I have observed in my little experience, if we if we want to write a personalized subject lines from the AI agent, it might give few times such keywords that directly go into the spam folder. And to avoid that, so if we are if we are doing the email marketing, so we don't need our email to go directly on the spam folder. So basically to prevent that action I have attached 2 emails already. So this node basically have 2 my provided emails that I have already provided, and it randomly chooses any one of the emails and transfer that to the personalized email. And in the next step here you can see there's a Google Sheet attached again. So what is the function of it? Basically whatever the emails is being drafted and whatever the subject line is being drafted by this email crafter node and the code node, it is first saved in the Google Sheet so that we can read it, and so basically we can check before sending the emails. And in the next step here you can see there is a there's a Google Sheet node attached, and it is defined as retrieve email content. So basically whatever the email is being sent it or saved in the Google Sheet, it fetches that email and send that to the next step. And in the next step here you can see it basically have a code node, and it is defined as a email format email HTML. So what is the function of it? Basically it is a function whenever the email is being crafted by the email crafter node or any AI agent, it comes in the form of one paragraph. And to prevent that, basically we don't want to send the email into a one paragraph. So before sending it to the before sending it to the client, we make the emails to look up personalized and customized in suitable format before sending it to customer. So basically this node actually give a proper touch, or you can see a suitable manner, presentable manner. So basically this node make the website into a presentable manner before sending it to the client. And in the next step here you can see there's a send email node. I'm using a webmail node, but you can always use the other different email provider like Google, Gmail, or Outlook services as well. And in the next step here you can see there's a update node sheet attached, and so whatever the response is, either the email has been sent it or not, the response will be saved on the Google Sheet. And then here you can see there's a wait node attached. So basically why we need a wait node? To avoid any type of error or to avoid the HTTP request or SMPT limits. So basically after sending one email it will wait for a specific time and then start the loop, again the start the loop. And then after sending the first email, so this was the whole function workflow for the first email. Once whole emails is being sent it, initial emails is being sent it, here is the crucial feature. Most of the businesses stops here. They send the one email, maybe get ignored, and that's it. But the truth is, client may can respond to you on the second or third emails. And here's where our workflow shines. If your lead doesn't respond, The automation sends us two follow-up emails automatically in a spaced out and polite and presented manner. This way, you don't leave the deals on the table, you stay top of the mind without any extra effort. Then the workflow comes towards the second step, the second follow-up emails. Uh, and in the next step, here you can see there is a wait timer attached to the schedule trigger. So after sending the initial emails, the workflow will wait for a specific time. I have set this specific timer to 3 days. So after sending the initial email, the workflow will wait it for 3 days before sending it the next follow-up email. So for the first email, I have set it for the 3 days, and for the second follow-up, I have set it for the 7 days. And again, there is a Google Sheet attached, so it basically fetches out the Google Sheet which is being sent, and then again the loop node, and then after we don't need any type of website summary or get to know what is the business is doing or fetches their website, as we already have their details. So I have all removed the details, removed that HTTP markdown and website summarizer node, and directly goes towards the website crafter node, email crafter node. So basically it first fetches out the first email that is being sent it, that is being stored in the Google Sheet, and it writes the second follow-up emails in the light of that first email. So it can have the email crafter node to personalize the second email as well. And again, there's a stored email to help us before sending it to the any other customer. It store the whatever the email is being crafted, it store that. And here you can see one node is also missing, and then here you can see there's another node is missing, and that is for the subject line. So basically I have designed this workflow so in that way that you don't have to send the follow-up emails like a new emails. It will initially take the first initial email and send the follow-up emails in the reply of that email, so that it can look humanized and more personalized, and help to build the client trust, like it is not a robotic automation, or it just give a humanized look, touch. And in the next step, here you can see there's again Google Sheet attached. So basically whatever the email is being drafted, it first save into the Google Sheet so we can check, and then it is stored in there. And then again there's a retrieve email. Whatever the email is being stored in the Google Sheet, it will retrieve that email and send it to the next step. And then here you can see again the format email HTML code. It format the provided email this text into a presentable manner before sending it to the next step. And then here you can see again there's an email sender node, and I'm using a webmail to send the emails, but you can choose any other email service provider. And then again the step follows the same. It updates the sheet and wait for a specific time before sending it the next email, and then the workflow remains the same. For the second follow-up emails, it waited for a 7 days timer before sending the second follow-up email, and then it fetches the leads from the Google Sheet, and then the loops node begins, and it will craft the emails, continues, and then the email crafter node, it basically write a personalized follow-up email on the basis of the second follow-up, first follow-up email that will be sent it, and then again it stored the crafted email into the Google Sheet and retrieve that stored email, and then provide it to the next step. And then this code node continues it, have them make the emails into a presentable manner before sending it, and then again the send node and update node, and wait for the specific time. So this is how the whole workflow looks like. What if we get any type of response from our clients? So will the workflow remain sending the first and second follow-up emails? No. We have designed this workflow automation so that if we get any type of response from our email from our provided emails in our inbox, it basically stops the workflow on the, and it can stop the workflow on any stage, like on the initial stage or the first follow up or on the second follow up. Here you can see I have attached another workflow in this workflow automation which keeps eye on our inbox ID. So if we get any type of emails that matches with a provided Google Sheet, it basically changes the status of that lead in the Google Sheet. So the workflow automatically stops the automation or workflow. So yeah, that's how this was all of the automation. That was it. This was the all automation was. But